Sitting here eating a melted granola bar, waiting for it to stop raining. Got the tent set up in the rain. It's been raining for about an hour and a half now, so I guess I'm not going to be glassing this evening. It was an ass kicker of a hike, not going to lie. But here we are, getting ready to fire up the old jet boil, get some food going. See you at dinner time. Laying here, waiting for my water to boil for my dinner. This rain hasn't stopped for going on 2 hours now. The radar said it was going to die down until about 10, but it seems to me it's picking up pretty good. This should be fun, sitting in a tent all night with the rain. Cooking food, and it literally was making me almost vomit towards the end, so I'm really trying to diversify the kind of food that I'm getting. So I got some different meals I'm trying to see what they taste like. So this one is the Alpine Fare, what do you say, smokehouse chicken, rice and beans. You can see here I was reaching over to get my spoon, and I managed to knock over the pouch, and I hadn't closed it yet because I hadn't stirred it yet. So maybe the rain is going to be good because hopefully we don't have no bears come around. There's a lot of bears around here. This is where they dump all the bears from Albuquerque. So I've seen bear. I've had in a week, the camera I just checked that was out for a week had 4 different bears on it, and that was down lower, but still. So I'm trying to be careful with food. I am not thinking I'm going to go hang my bag in a tree tonight. I'm just going to have to take my chances. So what do we do when it's raining and you can't sit by the fire? You make selfie videos of you trying new food. So I'm going to give this smokehouse chicken with rice and beans a try. Had to go outside and re-stake and put a rock on one of my steaks. The wind tore it out of the ground. This one over here looks like it's iffy. Let's see if it holds up tonight. I already took my pants off and boots and everything and don't really feel like going out there again. This one gets an okay. I'd probably eat this about 5 days in and not gag. They all have like a weird kind of salty flavor. This one's got like a fruity kind of flavor to it. But it's food. Let's hope this tent holds up. And tomorrow maybe it'll be a little nicer. Not really looking forward to putting wet pants on. And with this floorless shelter, if you put it down over wet grass, it will inevitably be like a greenhouse in here in the morning. And you'll probably get rained on inside here. So, cross my fingers, hope the tent doesn't blow over or anything. And eat my dinner and go to bed. So just getting ready to start making some coffee here this morning. It's about 7 o'clock. That was a long night. It rained until about midnight. Wind blowing, everything else, then it calmed down. But now everything's wet. Got my pants and shirt hanging up on a tree over there, drying out. Gonna make some coffee, make some breakfast, and then see what weather's gonna be like. So I've been doing this backcountry fuel box thing where they send you different types of like basically food for a day out in the backcountry from a bunch of different people, so that I can try and find different kinds of food to eat while I'm not here. And one of the things they've sent me is this coffee right here, which I'm not sure if you can see it. Anyway, Wanda Origins. This is obviously aimed at the hippie backpacker folks, because this one was grown by Yvonne Herrera in Guatemala. It says they share the revenue from their purchase with the grower. Higher wages, healthier earth, better coffee. So anyway, I just really want a cup of coffee. I'll give this stuff a try, see what it's like. It looks like it's in a bag or something, so this should be interesting. So the lens on my other camera got fogged over, so I had to switch to my GoPro. So I've got my coffee made right here. I'm kind of sitting here in my chones as I wait for my pants to dry out a little bit. Don't really feel like putting cold pants on. Coffee's almost ready. For breakfast today, we're going to be having the freeze-dried breakfast skillet, which has hash browns and scrambled eggs mixed with pork sausage, patty, peppers, and onions. The biscuits and gravy from Mountain House is really good, so I'm kind of optimistic that the breakfast skillet here is going to be pretty decent. They seem to make good breakfast food. Alright, so I'm sitting here eating this breakfast skillet from Mountain House. That's kind of what it looks like inside the bag. This thing is actually pretty dang good. Of all the breakfast foods and stuff I've had from Mountain House, I would say I'd put it right up there with the biscuits and gravy. It's not too salty. It's got eggs, potatoes, it's got a good flavor to it. So this is something that's definitely edible on a regular basis. Definitely better than the veggie omelet from the Army. So I want to talk just a little bit about water and how fast does the water go. I carried up about 67, 32, so about 160 ounces of water with me yesterday, so it's a pretty significant amount of the weight that I was carrying. But reason being is I don't know where any springs are up here. I could have caught rain in if I had something to catch it in, but I didn't really, and it wasn't reliable. And the springs that I've seen up here didn't have any water in them. So if I'm going to be up here for 2, maybe 3 days, then it's really important that I bring enough water to, especially if I'm eating all these dehydrated meals. So to give you an idea, I have used this water right here for drinking and making 2 meals. This thing was pretty heavy. It's a 67-ounce bag, and it's over half gone. And that's just from last night and this morning from the water that I used for making my coffee, drinking a little bit, not really. I maybe had 10 ounces of water to drink. And then I've made 2 meals, each requiring 2 cups of water. I'm not sure how many ounces of water is in a cup, but that's, go through water pretty quick. So it may be heavy to carry it up the mountain, but if you don't know where any's at, it's important that you bring enough with you. So I do love having this floorless shelter because you get this huge tent, you can run a stove in here, but the biggest problem is that you get this condensation in the tent. So every day when you wake up, you get this water that it's like a little mini greenhouse in here. And so every day when you wake up, if you bump the side of the tent, you get a little rain shower in the morning and all your gear gets wet. So you can see like my sleeping bag's been sitting here inside the tent, and you can see it's been getting sprinkled on. So obviously this is kind of a pain in the ass, especially when you set up in the rain over wet grass. And so over the course of the night, it all condensates and humidifies and sticks on the side of the tent. And so now, if you want to get up and move early in the morning, your tent's going to be wet. And so you're going to be picking up a little bit of extra weight just due to the tent being wet. And you can't really dry it out very well if you don't have sun. So it's kind of an issue. I mean, even on another tent, you would have wet moisture on the outside, but not on the inside like we do here. Like the outside of this tent's pretty much well dry now, just from the wind and stuff. And I've got the doors open on this one, trying to let it dry out. But that's the biggest complaint that I have about these tents. It's nice. You got tons of space in here. you can see I've got all my gear laid out, all spread out all over the place. But it's got a big footprint. It's really high. You can almost stand up in here, depending on how you pitch it, all that kind of stuff. But it is kind of a nuisance to have that condensation on the inside of the tent. So this is the inside of the tent wall to give you an idea about how wet this gets inside. And this is what it looks like on the outside. So you can kind of see that it gets pretty wet in there. Well, I got my clothesline over here, trying to dry all my gear out before I hit the road. Anything that's wet just makes a lot of added weight. So then I got everything laid out here on my blue tarp. These blue tarps, I bought this thing at Walmart. I think it was like $8. I've gotten so much use out of that thing. One of the better investments I've made. You can see laid out here, everything, keep the dirt and grime off your gear. Got my food bag, my jet boil, my walking water. So I like to have two waters. That's the one I walk with, that's the one I cook with. There's my sleeping bag, my sleeping mattress, my socks and stuff, my cat hole gear. That's my first aid kit, which I really need to go through. That thing's heavy and need to lighten it up. That's just my incidentals. And then the rest of this is just other random stuff. My pistol, my GoPro, some vitamins. Here's another thing I use a lot when I'm up in the mountains is my Katadyn water filter. Weighs a little bit, but that thing is money. Easy to use, can fill up all my bags. Here's my tripod. So just got everything laid out, getting ready to pack my bag and try and get back out here on the road, maybe do some glassing this morning, hopefully see some deer, maybe bear or something like that. Alright, got my pack all picked up. Tent's down, trash is cleaned up, campsite is back to normal. So I'm gonna go ahead and get on down and try and go find some deer and maybe a bear or two, see what kind of wildlife we can see. It's a beautiful morning for a nice little hike. See all the way out there to the Rio Grande down there. Go ahead and head on down the trail. I'm not recording the uphill parts because I need both hands. Just got up here to this glassing point and there are more area with ladybugs all over. They're literally climbing all over me. Everywhere. Okay, this is where we're at. Fortunately, ladybugs don't bite people as far as I know. I guess I'm about to find out if they do or not. Nice view up here. Haven't seen anything, got up here pretty late, so. So I'm trying to pick my way through this. which half of this stuff has these nice little thorns all over it, or I can walk through the rocks. But either way, I'm going down there, trying to cut across through that ridge, go down that ridge to the top of that hill, then down the other side of that hill to that road. Then I'm going to take that road down there to right there and meet Taylor at 3 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock now, so we will see how this hike goes. Well, one of my favorite things to do is to get myself into positions that would be impossible to get out of or go back the way I came. So then I'm going forward through miserable crap like this, which is like basically well, I'm not trying to do it holding a GoPro, but the whole way is waist deep, a lot of it's chest deep, slippery rocks, and scrub oak. Not sure what I was thinking. About to walk through some, well, they're taller than I am, but I have to figure out how to get through this stuff. Good times. Almost there. Well, I made it past the worst part, taking a little break, eating this Gorp energy bar. Cocoa, hemp, and almond. Not sure why they felt necessary to put hemp in there, but okay. Protein, not bad. Overall, tastes pretty decent. I'm gonna say, that shit up there behind me that I just walked through has got to be the thickest, roughest crap I've ever decided to try and blaze trail through. It was literally taller than I was, and I don't know how I could have done it without my trekking poles. So, pretty stoked about those things. That's where I was originally starting from. Came down, around, down through there, around here, and now I'm headed up through there. Pretty excited to have found my first shed of the year. Guessing because nobody wanted to come up here and get it. So I just got done walking down from there, all through all this, and it's basically like this stuff the entire way, except for up there, there's a lot more rocks. But yeah, it's hiking through burn areas that when there's not a trail is absolutely always a bad idea. I've done it before, and I don't know why I don't learn. I guess I like torturing myself. I don't know. Just picked up my walking stick and found these two little boogers in there. That gives you any idea what I've been walking through. Yikes. Oh, just made it back to where we're going to camp at tonight. Looks like thunderstorms are starting to come in. I thought the weather said they weren't going to come in until late, but it doesn't look that way. Hopefully, these are the two. That's the hill I just got down off of. That one in the back up there is where I started off coming down. So, man, that is some freaking horrible terrain. I wonder deer like to live there. But we're going to try and set up camp here. Taylor should be here any minute, coming down the road over there. So, I'll see what happens when she gets here. Hopefully it doesn't rain us out. Be sitting in the truck all night.